Welcome to Triple Threat, the podcast with Jamel President, where it's good news and good vibes all the time, baby.
When we left Portugal to come play with you in your system, Jamel, it was the best thing for Shane because you pushed him to do other things outside his box.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Jamel President and on Twitter at President Jamel. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast as I'll be bringing you a new interview every month. Hey, what's up, guys? Coming up next, we got Rashard Alston that played with Team DAE. Very interesting topics we discussed, just from coming from the local area, Goose Creek High School, and then being awarded a scholarship at Newberry and now a collegiate coach. We're talking about those transitions, things he had to go through, and talk about the North Charleston All-Stars. That was a nice group that caused a lot of damage in the travel circuit back in the days. So let's listen to Rashard and get some tips. All right, let's get into the interview.
How you doing, man?
Shit, I'm cooling, man. Cool. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Shit, I would have been in my office. They're having a little meeting down there now, so I don't want to be loud in the meeting.
I got you. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I ain't gonna take too much of your time, but we
Oh yeah, man. No problem.
we do this podcast just to interview former college students, college athletes, just give the families a little wealth of knowledge of of how it's done, where you've been and where you're going. It's always good to hear people that's doing it to the community. So I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
All right, starting out, man, everything else, everything starts from the parks, everything starts from the rec areas. So, take us back to, I guess you grew up in Charleston, the Goose Creek area. That's where you grew up at. Take us back, elementary years and talk about, the rec department and all that, how it was important into your, beginning.
Okay, so grew up in North Charleston, on Murray Hill, and came up playing basketball and all that at Danny Jones. So I played. I think I started basketball when I was 4 at Danny Jones gym. And shoot, man, up until I was in, middle school, high school, I played there, right at Danny Jones gym, and so we had games there and at Starrett Hall and at Northwoods gym, and I had a lot of different coaches, man, and a couple of the ones that really stick out in my mind, is one of the first ones I had was Terrell Allen, rest in peace. I had Terry, was in Coach Terry, and I had one of my favorite coaches growing up was Vernon Fields. He's still there giving back. Sure. He was coaching since I was a little boy. He's still there giving back and coaching, volunteering his time, man. But when you're little, you don't pay much attention to it. But it takes it's special when you got those guys volunteering their time for the youth and just giving back, and just the little things you don't think about that they're teaching you. While you playing rec basketball and rec football, or whatever you're playing. But and looking back, man, it was like, man, these dudes really cared about us. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The dudes that took time. It's like you get off a full-time job, and now it's 6, 7 o'clock, and you going to deal with a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
sure.
You got to care about them kids to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? So now that I got a full-time job, I really realize how much extra time they took out of their schedule to spend with us. So I'm appreciative, man. But yeah, man, I had some great coaches. And just teachers of life and builders of, because you think about that community, it's our community is we're a high rate of single parent homes, single mothers and young men, young black men, just looking for guidance and a father figure. And that Danny Jones, North Charleston rec department and Danny Jones gym, man, there's a wealth of just black men that's giving back and mentoring young black men. And, it's a beautiful thing, man. When you look back at it, and when you a kid, you just going because it's a basketball game. You don't really realize it, but man, that stuff makes a difference. It makes a difference.
For sure. So when did it start to click? You know what I mean? You talk about middle school playing and, when did it start to click? When did you want to, kind of really want to, to do this thing for a little bit, because some kids, they go through the rec areas, having fun. It's more like a babysitting, more just to spend some time. But some kids actually need to take it serious. When did it click for you and you kind of wanted to really start taking it serious?
Okay, so when it clicked for me with basketball, was we started. I think I was around like 9 or 10, and we started out. We had, that's when they started like all stars for the first time, like different rec departments. Yeah. So they started all stars at first. At first, it wasn't even just North Charleston All Star. It was just every rec department had their own little all star team. Right. And that's how we got the North Charleston All Star. So like it was Danny Jones, our rec department, and we made an all star team from the different kids of the different rec departments, right? And we put that team together, man, and we went and played different teams from around the low country, and we blew everybody out. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was guys on that team. Bap was on the team, you know what I'm saying? Guys like Bap and, guys that played with us for a while. Khalil, he was on there, so it's like we put that team together. It was like, man, like we can be really good. You know what I'm saying? We really work at it. And it's like, man, the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? We 10 years old. You know what I mean? We putting together real basketball, plays and actually playing basketball for real. So it was like, okay, we can be really good. So that's when it clicked. And that's when we started. It's okay, we're gonna take this team and we're gonna start doing like YBOA, AAU type deal. So we started traveling, and we started traveling. We thought we were really good. We thought we were really good until we ran up. We went to Columbia and we played a team called Columbia Slammers. They had Pete Perry Dozer on the team. He was their point guard. He's playing in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? PJ Dozer. So he was their point guard, man, and Pete, at the time, he looked at me eye to eye. He wasn't that tall like that, but he was just so skilled. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was so skilled, and we was 10 years old. So we were playing with him for a while. We was going up and down. They put that full court press on up behind, man. We ain't made it past half court. We ain't make it past half court. So that was like a gut check for us. It was like, okay, we thought we were good, and it was like, man, we got some work to do. We got some work to do.
That's funny. That's funny you say that because shit, I'm knowing that the press that you guys have was really detrimental to a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? That intensity, that high activity, and a lot of at that age level, a lot of teams don't have great ball handlers. So that becomes a problem when you got a team that's Mike Quick just trapped in 5 in, 5 out, just trapping all day. That could cause a lot of problems.
Exactly. And see, and that's the thing. So we didn't have to do that. Before that tournament, we didn't have to press. We didn't have to, We didn't have we would run a 2-3 zone and a 3-2 zone. We were getting away with it just because our offense was our half court offense was good. We had people like Dan Chance Benjamin out wide and Khalil Davis and Eric Hayward. And, man, we had guys just out wide. I mean, on the perimeter that could just shoot it. You know what I'm saying? And dump it down, me and back and rebound it, and whatever, So we were getting away with it, with not having to press. And then we ran into that team and they put a press on us. We was all right, back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? So now we gotta learn how to break a press first, right? So we learned how to break a press and then we installed the press. Because we had a bunch of young cats that just run around and play scrappy. So we installed the press, and that's when we took off. But that second year, so that first year we was 10 and under. That second year we went 11 and under. We did not lose a game in South Carolina. Wow. So we went, and I think we were like 21-0 in South Carolina, man. And going to different tournaments and stuff like that. We would play through the pool play, go straight to the championship round, win it. Won like every tournament. We won every tournament in South Carolina, North Carolina that we went to. Won in Atlanta, and we went to nationals. But so we kept building on it, man. You know what I'm saying? And in the third year, 12 and under, we were pretty good too. Made it to like the almost like made it to the semifinals of the national tournament.
Right.
Had a chance to win that.
Let me ask you a question, and I want to hear your input on it, because we talked about the interest level, the coaches. From my standpoint too, they had a lot of coaches that would hide, that was really, really interested, and their heart was in it, but didn't really know how to matriculate through the system. You know what I'm saying? The next level of preparation. And I found that, in the Charleston area, not in all the areas like that, intermediate group were really, really good. But then when you got to transition from the intermediate to high school, some kids fall off, the program fall off. Like, what do you think is needed to be added to make that connection more fluid? You know what I mean? Because you got, again, the parents are involved in the intermediate time, but then when the kids get ninth grade, they more go to the high school. Either the team is more involved in the kids, decision making, but there's a drop off where they got to do with talent level, commitment, and then eventually kids don't really get to expand their careers to high school because there's been that drop off. Why do you think is that drop off?
And the thing, and so you will notice, like, the certain programs that do really well, at that high school level, is the programs that are connected with their feeder middle schools.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because if you're not connected with that feeder middle school, there is going to be a big drop off, because, okay, if you're connected with the feeder middle school, your 7th grade, 8th graders, they're going to have that summer weight program too. Just like the 9th, 10th, 11th, graders got. They're going to have it too, but it's going to be tailored to 7th graders.
Right.
It's going to be tailored to 8th graders. It's going to be doing things, that's beneficial for them and getting their bodies together, right? So now they know what is expected during the summer, that commitment like you talked about commitment, especially like football, basketball, those sports, they expect you to be there over the summer, it's a different level of commitment, especially when you talk about being good, all them teams in the summer, the championships are won during the summer, the championships are won in the summer and the winter, not during the season. The season is when you showcase what you've done during the winter and the summer, you know what I mean? So those schools that are connected with their feeder middle schools, and in the strength program and in the conditioning program, now they know what's expected when they get to high school. It's like, okay, I've been doing this in 7th grade. I know now, okay, I'm gonna have to be here. I'm gonna have to make every weight session over the summer. I'm gonna have to be there for conditioning. And then we roll into 2 days, we roll into camp. You know what I'm saying? It's time to rock and roll. You know what I mean? So now you know what to expect. But now it's certain schools that aren't connected. You know what I'm saying? You doing one thing at middle school, you may not be lifting no weights. Right? You may not be lifting no weights, you know what I'm saying? And you go from, that to, now, we expect you to be here every morning during the summer, 5 days a week. We expect you to, to make every weightlifting. We expect you to be on time for practice. We expect you to do this, do that. Now it's like, okay, I never had to do that before. Now I don't know if I want to give up my summer now. I don't know if I'm willing to do that. I'm used to going on trips all summer. I'm used to hanging out all summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to this. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, is it worth it to me?
Right.
You know what I mean? To miss out on all my summer. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be a part of the team when it's Friday night lights and it's game day.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? But when it's time and in that 100-degree heat, 102-degree heat in Charleston, and you got 110s today, it's like, man,
it's a
I don't know if I want to do this.
It's
a sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice, and if you just get hit with it all at once, it's a tough transition. You know what I'm saying? If you're not built for it. But if you're used to it, if you connected it through middle school, you've been doing it for a while, and you done transitioned, then it's a smooth transition, because like, okay, I know what to expect now. I know it's gonna be turned up a little bit, but it's nothing that I'm not used to. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
That's the big difference. That's the big difference in my opinion.
That's dead on. In this timeout message, we got Aaron Lucas.
I think the biggest thing that helped me was having the opportunity to play against them in the summers. So like when we played team camp my junior year, and then like we'd have some other times where we'd be down there. And Coach Fogel was like, you know, after camp, this is 11 o'clock at night. He's like, go out there. And I was hanging in there and I was doing my thing. And I was like, you know, I can, you know, and one aspect of it was like, damn, that's BJ. Like, that's Mel. Like,
Right.
yo.
Right.
And then on the other hand, it was like, that's still that dude that came in the gym, you know, 3 years ago and was signing autographs. I still got something to say to him.
Now let's get back to the interview. So, you know, you're playing with the All-Stars in your middle school, and now, you know, high school starting to approach. You know, what were some of your challenges? You know, you got, I mean, North Charleston is heavily, you know, populated with talent, and only like a couple of high schools you can really go to in the area. So you're talking about 12-man roster on the basketball team. Probably, I don't know how many kids on the football team. 100? What is it?
Yeah, it depends on the school. It depends on the school. It could be 100. It could be, yeah.
So what were your preparation mentally, you know, getting ready? Because, you know, at the end of the day, that freshman year, nobody wants to get that notice that didn't make the team. But then you went from basketball to football. So tell me some of your challenges when you made that decision. You know what I'm saying? Realizing your stature in that certain sport, also with the you know, the talent level. Frame that.
Right. So I mean, grew up playing basketball, and like I said, I started playing basketball when I was 4, but I started playing football when I was 5. You know what I'm saying? I started with my dad, and I wasn't even playing no Charles. I played on Johns Island. I was playing with the Walmart Island Bears. My dad was coaching the team. I was playing in the country. That's the only place I would be able to play at 5 years old in the country. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the country out there playing. I'm not supposed to be playing, but I'm playing with them. I'm learning the game. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I can attest, there's a lot more physical out there than it was in the city when I was playing. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
You know, so you know, saying the country, it was a more physical game in the country. So when I came back and started playing football at Danny Jones, it was man, it's a cakewalk here. It was easy, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so I grew up. So I was playing both. I was always a 2, you know what I'm saying, at least a 2-sport athlete. You know what I mean, and playing both of those. So growing up, I mean, I'm playing both. It's like, okay, I'm gonna stay busy. I love both of them. You know what I'm saying, and they don't overlap. You know what I mean? So I can play both. You know what I mean? So when it came time to, you know, saying like in middle school, I was playing both, and then it's time to go to high school now, and I ended up going to Goose Creek High School. You know, and so went to Goose Creek High School, and you know, I made the JV basketball team as a freshman, in high school, but I was able to make, you know what I'm saying, the varsity as a freshman in football. I was playing what we call 8 quarters. I'll play on Thursdays with the JV team, and then I would dress out and play some Friday nights with the varsity team. So I was a member of the varsity team, but I played on the JV team as well to get reps. So you know what I'm saying, and Goose Creek was a power, so I knew I wasn't going to play much my freshman year on Friday nights. So them Thursday night games were where I was going to get my reps in, my game reps. So, you know, I took advantage of that. But, you know, it wasn't much of a challenge for me because, I mean, our coaches there pushed being a multi-sport athlete. You know what I'm saying? They pushed it, stay busy. This sport's going to prepare you for that sport. Then I became a 3-sport. I ran track when I got to high school. You know what I'm saying? Hadn't been doing that. So, and it was just one after another. You know what I'm saying? You do football rolls into basketball rolls into track. So it wasn't a challenge. It was like, okay,
well, I gotta negate that a little bit. I can't say you say it wasn't a challenge. It wasn't a challenge because you was prepared for that at 4 years old. You started like that. And that's what I'm telling parents. Telling parents today, like, you know, you can't, as a high school coach, parents can't be upset about the kids not getting playing time because we only working with the product you brought to us. Like,
now.
You know what I mean? Like, once a kid crossed the 9th grade threshold, it ain't no more we can do. We only can work with what you brought to us at that point.
Mm-hmm. And it goes back to what we was talking about. All, you know what I'm saying, but by the time the season starts, it's time to start working on, you know what I'm saying, the schemes and stuff like that. all of the skill work and the drill work and all that stuff we work on in the off season.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that stuff you should have been working on. So, and now I can say that's where the challenges would come in is, okay, now when do you work on your skills for this sport and your skills for that sport? If you're playing multiple sports, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, now I need to work on, you know what I'm saying, different, say basketball, it takes a different kind of athleticism and you know what I'm saying, skill than football would take. And track is a different breed from both of those as well. So, you know what I'm saying, it's okay, so when am I working on this sport? And it's finding the time. And it falls under commitment. You know, how committed are you to being better this year than, you know what I'm saying, than you were last year? And at a school like Goose Creek, you know, so we're a 4A school and a program that wins, you better be out there working or you won't be playing. You have a freshman come in next year and be better than you. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been in this in 7th grade working, 7th grade, 8th grade, now he's 9th grader ready to play, and he's been working. You know what I'm saying? So it was a thing at Goose Creek, man. You was a coach didn't have to tell you to not miss weights or not miss a practice. You were scared to miss because you know that guy behind you was just as hungry and just as good. And if you slip up for 1 second, he was gonna take your spot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So and it was no hate towards each other. It was like, man, we hungry and we trying to win games, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get a scholarship somehow. So I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get on the field. You know what I mean?
That's why sports is so important and how it compares to life. Like you said, if you got a job, you're not coming to work, somebody else gonna take your position. So you have to put that time in. You know, and I want to talk briefly about, you know, the success at Goose Creek, because I know at football you had a really you know, great success time there, but something happened where your title was taken away because of, you know, whatever situation. I can't recall some other eligible player. But how did that affect you and your recruitment and even your mental and the team? How was that, you know, really, was that really affecting to the team or per se when that happened?
Yeah, so I played so like I said, man, at Goose Creek, we had some guys walking around there playing, man. So I played behind, you know what I'm saying, All-American dude, Virgil Smalls. I was playing behind Virgil Smalls, so he was a sophomore when I came in as a freshman. So I was playing behind him until my senior year, you know, so I'm getting minutes on varsity, you know what I'm saying, but it's minutes after he come out. I was his backup, you know what I'm saying, and rightfully so, because the dude was a baller. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. You know what I mean? And that wasn't like he was missing practices or nothing so I could take his spot. He was better than me. You know what I mean? So my senior year was my chance to like break out and show colleges what I can really do. You know what I'm saying? You can go to camps all you want. You know, so you can go to these camps and which is important to get your name out there. But at the end of the day, these college coaches gonna want some film.
Right.
They want meaningful film. They don't want film at the end of the game when it's 49-0. Right. You know what I'm saying? When both teams got you know what I mean? They want some film when it's first quarter, second quarter minutes, when it's the game's on the line still, you know. So they're going to ask you for your film, and I didn't have enough of that to give them, you know what I'm saying? So my senior year was not time. I'm the starter. I'm the guy now, and it's like, okay, now I get a chance to really show what I can do. So first game, you know, we go out there and we play Ashley Ridge, and, you know, I go off for 284 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And my first start. Wow. So then that was like, okay, now you know what I'm saying, I can start really showcasing what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And guys and people, I know recruiters gonna come to these games because I'm playing beside Tremel Terry, who was, you know what I'm saying, the number 3 athlete in the nation. Wow. I'm playing beside Caleb Kinlaw, who, you know what I'm saying, was a big time FBS recruit. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing beside Gerald Turner, Mike Myers. These are Division I guys, you know what I'm saying? Sure. I'm playing beside them. So they will come see them. And when they come see them, I just want to make it so, okay, when they look at their program, like, dang, who was number 5?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That was my intention, you know what I'm saying? So now it was my chance. So once that first game starts, then I start getting some letters, you know what I'm saying? And you know, now the recruitment starts to pick up. So season goes on, and we're doing good. We're going undefeated because the season previous, we went to the state championship, but we lost one game before. So we was 14-1, but we won the state championship. We lost one game to a team from Florida, in a game, second game of the season, University School. But we won the state championship. So the next season, the goal was to go 15-0 and win it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to have a perfect record. So now we on pace. You know, we go to the playoffs, and now we 13-0, and now at this point we the only it's 4 teams playing left.
Wow.
So ain't but so many games that recruiters can go to.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We one of the only teams left. So now all y'all gonna come watch us play. So now it's really our time to really shine. I can really now I get to go see this guy in person. My thing was, man, like what my approach to every game was, it may be a guy in the stands that never seen me play, and he may be a doubter. He may be like, man, this guy ain't like that for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My goal is to go out there and show, okay, by the time you leave this game, yeah, Rashard Alston like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rashard Alston, he that deal for real. So that was my approach to these games. Because like at this point, I'm having the scholarship offers.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to prove myself. So I was like, okay, like that's how I'm going in every game. So now we go into the playoffs, man, and something comes up. We had a guy on our team, you know what I'm saying, and they thought he was ineligible. It looked like he was ineligible, but he wasn't. He was actually eligible, and you know what I'm saying, it got self-reported, and you know what I'm saying, it got blown out of proportion, and then it came back that he was eligible, and then but that was too late, so they disqualified us from the playoffs, and it was the game before the Florida State championship, man. It was the lower state championship. They disqualified us, man, and we'd have been, like I said, we'd have been 1 of 4 teams to play, and that hurt not only me, but a lot of guys on my team who were seniors and looking for a breakout. They're recruiting. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I still was able to earn a scholarship. I was still able to get scholarship offers after that, but it was guys on my team, man, that I knew could have played at the next level that didn't get a chance to, you know what I'm saying? And I think those last couple games hurt. You know what I mean? Being on a big stage, lower state championship, you making plays in them games, somebody gonna notice you. You know what I'm saying? Like all college coaches go to the South Carolina State Championship. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Like now that I'm a coach, I know that because I go to them now, and I'm looking around, and there's a bunch of recruiters there, so I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna go. You making plays in the state championship game, either you somebody for real because we know your coach is counting on you at the biggest game of the year. You know what I'm saying? And you playing against some good competition, so you know you somebody. So that was the deal, man.
A lot of players took your spot probably got on just from being in that atmosphere playing at that time. That probably wasn't as good as some players playing your team, but they was on the stage at that time, and you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly, out of sight, out of mind. Like, man, I'm telling you, the closest game we had was 21 points the whole season. Wow, the closest is 21 points, man. It wasn't nobody in the state of South Carolina was going to beat us that year. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the thing that hurt the most. You know what I'm saying? It would have been one, like we would have felt better if a team lined up and beat us. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they beat us fair and square, and you know what I'm saying? And we would have shook their hands and like, okay, good luck with the next one. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't happen to us. It got taken from us. You know what I'm saying? Something out of our control, and you know, so that was the part that hurt the most. You know what I mean? Sure. So then you go into a panic at the end of the season. It's like, dang, I don't got no offers, man. It's like, what do I do now?
Hey, what's up, guys? Check this out. If you're coming into the Charleston area, or maybe leaving out the Charleston area, and you want to avoid long lines and be greeted by friendly, sweet people, go check out Mark over at Avis and Budget Car Rental at 7685 Northwoods Boulevard. When you go see Mark and you mention Triple Threat Podcast, you receive 30% discount on your rental. They also offer compact to large SUVs and vans to rent with quick, easy transaction. And check this out, and limited mileage on most rentals. So give Mark a call at 843-572-3190. Don't forget to mention Triple Threat Podcast.
That's like to my next question. You know, when that happened, you know, and I want to say, you know, big ups to your parents, especially Regina, who, you know, was always there. You know, and nothing like that parent support. I never forget my mom. You know, when I played varsity in 7th grade, you know, she would come to Rivers we had to leave Rivers to go to Burke, be in the middle school. So she would bring me, sandwiches and chips and cookies or whatever for my game. And I would watch her in the stands. I wanted to show off for her. Like I wanted to show off for her, right? So,
Yeah.
and playing on the team and watching your mom and how she supports you. I mean, that's got to be awesome. But talk about that transition. Once you left the school and your office wasn't there, what did you do to kind of build that up? Did you, call some schools, send out information? What did you do, yourself to make those things happen?
Yeah. So I had some, and I also had some good coaches on my staff too. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was always there too, man. My dad he was a big help for me. You know what I'm saying? And being able to take me around to different schools after that. And you know what I'm saying? So I had some good coaches on the staff, you know what I'm saying? Coach Bowles and Coach D'Amato, man. Those guys put together a highlight tape for me, and was able to start sending them out to the coaches that they knew, you know what I'm saying? And then they start getting some feedback in, so basketball season rolling. I'm in the middle of basketball season. I'm playing basketball, and now the coaches are sending out my highlight tapes here and there and there and there, and then they start getting calls. Okay, boom. This coach is gonna come to the school and see you this day. This coach is gonna come to school and see you then. This coach is gonna come see you. You know what I'm saying? So then coaches start coming to see you, and you know what I'm saying? And that was big time, man. That was big.
But what did you make your decision on? I talk to a lot of college athletes, and they make the decision based on comfortability. Or I know this coach, or I felt comfortable with this school. What was your decision making in your final decision going to institution?
So I was actually on a visit with one of my friends. One of my friends had a visit to Tusculum College, and me and my dad drove him up there for the visit. So we all up there, and at the time they were playing Newberry. They were playing Newberry College, right? So we're on the visit, and the game is over. So now we're all on the field. And I knew some guys that played for Newberry because they had a lot of guys from Low Country. So I'm talking to some guys, and you know what I'm saying, I see a couple of the coaches, and a couple of coaches come over to me, and one of them was the coach that recruited me. There, Coach Swagger and Coach Williams, Coach Cedric Williams, who are both from the Low Country. Coach Swagger went to Somerville back in the day, and Coach Williams with the James Island back in the day. So they're both Low Country guys. They came over, and we're just talking and talking, and they're like, "You coming here?" I was like, "No, I'm up here on a visit with my guy." He's like, "Where you going?" I was like, "I'm not sure yet."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, "Well, shit, man, we got a game. We got a game next week. You know what I'm saying? At home, 2 of them. We got a game next week and the game the week before that, the week after that, right? So when that happens, they say, "Shit, we want you there. We want you there. If you can get there, bring your family, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just let us know if you come. We'll get your tickets and everything. That we want you at the game. Just come check us out." I said, "Okay, cool." Me and my dad said, "I said, Dad, you out?" He said, "Yeah, we be there. I'll be there. We going." Sure. So we went to the game, man. And I had went on visits, with a buddy of mine, Tremel, to Georgia, and South Carolina and Clemson, and that was a different kind of deal. So obviously everybody wants to play in front of 80,000 fans.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But when I went to Newberry, I went to that game, it just felt like home. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that the coaches said. It wasn't nothing, it wasn't something that the coach said. It wasn't nothing that the player said to me. Like I walked through there, it was like, dang, it just feels like I can visualize myself here. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was just the beginning. So after that, the season was over, right? And it was a couple, you know what I'm saying? It was like January when they had a official visit weekend, right? So during the official visit weekend, it's 3 dudes there that haven't been offered by Newberry yet. Everybody else is already offered and committed. Right, it's like 19, 20 dudes there that's already committed, right? And there's 3 dudes. It's me, Romello, Doctor, that played with us as well.
Yeah.
And it's TJ Smith, who went to Fort Dorchester, right? So, so neither the 3 of us are offered yet because they came on to us late because they didn't think they was gonna get us. You know what I'm saying? So we all there and we looking around, man. And as we looking around, it's like, man, everybody from the Low Country, you know what I'm saying, who was like a dog on their team that didn't go Division I was there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I played against this dude. He was a dog. Man, he ain't go D1. He there. He committed. Right. he's there. They got to do some woodland. You know, everywhere in the local country, like, man, there's some dogs here for real. Like, who I played against these dudes. I know they're dogs, right?
Sure.
It's like, dang, if all of us come here, we can win for real. You know what I'm saying? If all of us will come here, we can win. Ain't no doubt about it. So, I mean, me and Melo and all, we all looked at you like, shh. And I had the meeting with, you know what I'm saying, with the head coach. And you know, we all sat down the day before I left. And they offered me the scholarship there. And then, you know what I'm saying, it was like, man, we usually redshirt all freshmen. You know what I'm saying? All freshmen usually redshirt at Newberry. And that's the thing. But he said, man, I'm gonna tell you what. He said, I'm not gonna give you nothing, but I can tell you if you come, you have a chance to play your freshman year if you come in here and show that you can.
For sure.
And that was all I needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? All I needed to hear, I was like, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Because the night before, we hung out with the guys, and we were all able to hang out with you know, it was guys who I had looked up to in the Low Country. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, they're there now. They're juniors and seniors at, you know what I'm saying, Newberry, and it was you know, it felt like the right thing, man. And you know, so I committed that day, and I went to Newberry, played ball there for 5 years, man. So it was.
Let me ask you a question, because you know, like I said, everybody said the same thing. You know, it felt like home. It was a good feeling. I felt comfortable. But being a student athlete, and we're speaking to student athletes that's listening to this podcast, and I want to paint this picture because during that time, like you said, it was late in the game. You had no offers, and do you feel as a player like you would have took anything because you wanted something, right? Was it a feeling of a want or like a hungry feeling, or do you think? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Do you think? Looking back at it now, do you think you would have made a decision based on, well, look, I'm gonna play this position, and they got a sophomore or junior in this position. The coach been on, you know. The coach had been at the school for X number of years, and they're not going to be there in a couple of years. Would you take all those things in consideration now, knowing that you know what you know, versus making a decision on feeling? Not saying it wasn't a good decision, but I just want to hear what you're feeling on that.
Oh no doubt. I mean, now at this point, now that I know what I know, you got to take all those things in the account. You know, you got to take all those things in the account. You know, and one of the things, you know, one of the schools I actually went to, I'm not gonna mention the school. I went on a visit, man, and guys walking me around. You know, it was guys who were hosts and walking guys around, and some of these guys were ineligible. You know what I'm saying? So we walking around, it's like, man, this dude was ineligible. This dude was ineligible too. It's like, wow, this dude was ineligible. It wasn't a good look.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, this must be a party school for real. And these guys don't know how to turn it on and off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These guys don't know how to do. So I decided not to go there. I had a scholarship offer to go to that school. You know what I'm saying? And that school, you know what I'm saying, was a bigger school than Newberry. You know what I mean? And I decided not to go there for that reason. You know, and it's things like that you got to take into account. It's like, because you're gonna be around those dudes all the time. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta realize what kind of dudes you're gonna be around. Who are your peers? You know what I'm saying? And make those decisions based on, okay, who's gonna be in front of me? You know what I'm saying? How long is he gonna be in front of me? Right. You know what I'm saying? Or do I think I'm good enough to go take that guy's spot?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing about it is like, okay, how, you know what I'm saying? Do I mesh with the coaches? You know what I'm saying? Do I mesh with them? You know what I'm saying? And do I mesh with the guys? Do I mesh with the players? Talk to the players, man. Talk to the players. Exactly. Talk to the students. Right. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the players, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, recruiting, sometimes like so one thing that I do as a coach when I'm recruiting, I keep it straight up and down with guys. I don't sugarcoat, and I don't try to paint a picture that is not, right? But a lot of places that's what they're gonna do. Right. You know what I'm saying? I try to be genuine, and I try to tell you, okay, this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna coach you hard. This how it's gonna be, so and so. But you know what I'm saying? If you show what you can do, and that's why I'm recruiting you, because I like what you can do. If you show what you can do, and you take the spot, you're gonna get it. But if not, then this was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sugarcoat, but a lot of coaches will. So what I'm saying is, man, you got to go and you got to talk to the players. Okay, this coach really like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This coach really take care of you like this. This,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You guys really get this stuff that they say that y'all get. You know,
Right.
talk to the players, man. They there. They can keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing about the recruiting process. You got to know, man. You know what I'm saying? What to take into account. And I think all of that stuff, man, has to be taken into account when you're making your decision, because it's not a 4-year decision, man. It's a life decision you make.
Exactly.
I mean, with the transfer portal now is different, but man, that transfer portal is poison. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a coach. I'm saying that because I've seen it.
Right.
Like, you look in there, man.
Right.
You look in that transfer portal. If you don't have a previous relationship with somebody, or you're not like a Division I guy who's transferring, as soon as you put your name in the portal, it's gonna be headlines. You will get lost in there, man, because it's just a bunch of names.
Right.
You don't know what position the kid played. You don't know nothing. It's just a bunch of names. So if you don't got a previous relationship, you will get lost in that portal, man. And there's not enough scholarships to go around for many kids that are in the portal.
That's good. That's a good point. So, Rashard, from 4 years old when you first start playing to, middle school, high school, college, all of us want to play at the next level. All of us want to play on Sunday. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So being in Newberry, and when that window, started to close, what were your next steps? What did you focus on at that point? Because we all can say, well, I can't speak for you, but I can say majority of athletes going into college, we're not thinking about a career after school. We're thinking about big league. And then if big league don't happen, then we're thinking about something. That's what the whole get something to fall back on kind of came from.
Right.
But what we need to do is start focusing on our career first and not the afterlife of sports. So
exactly
when those windows start closing for you, what was your mental transition? How did you were able to cope with that? Because me personally, I just really started watching basketball like a year ago, right? Because I felt like I was so good at some point and I didn't have the resources and the tools to get me to the next level. I was so mad at the players that I used to just kill, and I seen them making a lot of money. I didn't even watch the sport for a long time. So how did you deal with that mental transition of when it started closing in the college?
Yeah, I mean, so and you're absolutely right about that, man. It's like, like it's so much easier to worry about your career. You know what I mean? Like worry about like getting your career started, and then boom, you get the call and you go into the league. Then just fall back on that. Then the other way around. Then I'm worried about the league. Then I gotta start a career because I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? It's harder. It's way harder. It's so much easier. You rather go to the league with a job in your hand, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to the league. Then be like, can I please come work for you? Because I ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's way easier, man. And you know what I'm saying? So, and and if you good enough, they're gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? That's the you know what I'm saying, that. You know what I'm saying? It's, especially, you know what I'm saying, if you killing, certain people and whatever. Now, in some circumstances, it's not gonna work out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's 1 in a million. Like it's 1 in a million. Like you the 1%. It's a 1% chance you making it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you real good. You play with some guys. You be like, man, this guy's supposed to be playing in the league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it don't happen. And you know what I'm saying? And if it don't happen, now you falling on your face. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to set yourself up like that, because I know and I think you could have made it too. You know what I'm saying? But like a little habit, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? And it was guys like I played with at Newberry. You know what I'm saying? And like, for example, Corey Washington and Edmund Robinson, those 2 guys I played with that made it to the league. Man, them dudes were just different, man. Like you in practice, like, man, yeah, you good, but them dudes different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everybody think they're supposed to be there, but man, like dudes in the league are they different, man. My head coach, he called them creatures, cyborgs, and aliens, because they're not from here. They're not from here, man. Like they're different, man. Like he coached in the league for a number of years. He won the Super Bowl with the Broncos, so he know what it looked like. It's like, man, like you like when there's a dude supposed to be in the league, like you know, like you look at him, it's like, yeah, he that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. So like but it's so easy. It's so much easier to worry about, you know what I'm saying, your career first. And then like, okay, I got a chance to go to the league because I've been working hard. You're gonna be working hard playing football, being a student athlete anyway. You're gonna be doing that. But you need to be taking care of, okay, what am I gonna do after this if this don't work out? What if I get hurt? I can be it. I could be the number one pick. What if I get hurt? You know what I'm saying? And nobody won't. What if I get something? They say, okay, I can't play no more football. Something happens.
Right.
Then what? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you still need to be set up for success. So for me, you know what I'm saying? Once I got around the game of football and I started really learning the game of football and learn how to watch film and learn how to break it down, learn how to break down defenses, learn how to, you know what I'm saying, diagnose what they're doing and all that stuff, I became such a student of it. It was like, man, I want to be around this forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be around the sport forever. Like, and, you know, I told my coach, I was telling my I was like, why I decided to coach? I asked my running back coach this. And one of the guys I really look up to, Hunter Spivey, the way he taught me the game was one of the reasons I wanted to start getting into coaching. It was like, I was like, why did you start coaching? He's like, man, it was the next best thing to playing. And that's the most 100% accurate thing, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, that I've heard about it. Like, it's the next best thing to playing, man, because you right around it.
Sure.
You right around it every day. You still hanging out with the guys. You know, you still building relationships with 100 different dudes every year. You know what I'm saying? It's the next best thing, man. You know, and because the thing about it, you go get a 9-to-5 job, man. It might not be the games that you miss. It might not be the practices that you're going to miss them locker room time to hang out in the locker room with the guys, hanging out, you know, they're just hanging out with the guys. You're going to miss the guys. You're going to miss the relationships. And you're going to miss playing football, man. And you're going to get that itch to compete. You know, so you see football on, you're going to make, damn, I wish I was out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's the next best thing to playing. So when that window, you know what I'm saying, started closing, I was like, man, I need to start doing what I need to do now so that when I graduate, I can be in a position where I can coach somewhere. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So and for me, I wasn't a guy that was thinking I was going to the league, you know what I'm saying, based off of, you know what I'm saying, what was going on when I was at Newberry. Like, I wasn't the top. Like, if you were in D2, you better be the number one dude in the conference at your position. You better be the number one. Like, I wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? You got to be real with yourself too. You know what I'm saying? If that ain't you, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course, you're going to do the best. I'm going to do what it takes to help my team win games every Saturday. But I know I ain't no league dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what the league dude looks like. And I don't look like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm all right, but I ain't like that now. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it looks like. So you got to be real with yourself too. And you know what I'm saying? And that what it was for me, man. It was a smooth transition. You know, so once I found out that I was doing that, you know, I started applying for some jobs and that was hard, man. Getting your foot in the door is the hardest part. Yeah. It's the hardest part, man, especially at the college level. High school was a little easier, you know what I'm saying? I had a guy, Devin Smalls, at North Charleston High School, man. And he was a Newberry guy too, man. He gave me a shot out of high school, out of college, and was able to let me come coach running backs over there at North Charleston. And towards the end of the season, started letting me call plays, man. But yeah, he gave me the shot, man. And I worked there with him for about a year and a half, and I finally was able to get my foot in the door at the college level, working the All-Star game, man. And, working the All-Star game in Texas, but was able to get my GA spot. But yeah, man, it's hard to get your foot in the door, man. But once you get your foot in the door, man, then it's just about work ethic and relationships.
For sure. So when in your approach, what do you think, looking at starting from elementary, middle school, college, what do you think athletes are missing right now? You know what I'm saying? Because I all the time with the video games and not a lot of kids are outside no more. I think the dopamine is coming from the video games right now. It's not really no teams. It's going to make it even harder. With I talk about the cohesiveness of the sport. What do you think student athletes are lacking right now when it comes to? Because you see it's a drop in performance in the high school level. I think some of the kids that were playing will start in football or basketball, they're in the streets. So some of the kids that's playing right now wouldn't even be on the floor if the kids were in the streets was playing. So, and what do you think the drop came from? Is it education? Is it the skill level, or is it the interest, or all of the above?
It's all of the above. And the number one thing is, man, kids don't go outside and play no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, kids ain't playing no more. Right. You know what I mean? Like how many times, like when you was growing up, man, you was just outside playing ball all night until it was time to go home. All day. Right. You know what I'm saying? All day. In the summer, you was out there all day. Y'all drinking water out the water spigot. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go back inside the house. the ice cream truck come, y'all stop and get some ice cream because it's hot outside.
Right.
And y'all go right back to playing. You playing all day.
Right.
You go inside, you got a bunch of mosquito bites, you know what I'm saying? And it's back out there tomorrow day. You know, kids don't do that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kids don't do that. Like you ride past courts outside and they're empty. You know what I'm saying? You ride past fields, it's empty. Ain't nobody playing, ain't nobody at the parks. It's nobody playing. And that's when you get a lot of that extra like competitiveness and you just learn little stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just playing. It's reps, man. That's extra stealing. It's like stealing the reps. Kids ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference, man. That's why I think the drop off is starting.
Right. And what are your approach? What do you tell, the athletes that's in high school looking to play at the next level? What are some things that three things that you would tell them to really focus on, especially coming from a collegiate coach, been a player, then going to college and the coach, you're looking back at it. What are three things that you would tell the younger players that they need to really focus on?
All right. So number one is your grades. Number one. Now that's number one, because it don't matter how good of a player you are. It don't matter how good of a player you are. They ain't gonna round that GPA up for you. They ain't gonna let you slide. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna, all right, we can let him slide with his two. They ain't gonna round it up, So, and your grade, that's for one. So, because for one, like, if like for example, if I got two guys, right, that I'm recruiting, and they about the same caliber, you know what I'm saying? But one of them got he barely got the 2.2, he like on the border, another one got 3.0, right? I'm gonna go with that guy for 3.0 because now I know when he get here, I don't got to walk him to class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't got to worry about him in the classroom.
Right.
That's one less problem I got when he got here. Because now that guy 2.2, he might get here and it might be too hard for him. It might be you know what I'm saying? If he ain't applying himself hard enough, and you know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean?
Right. So
I'm gonna take the 3.0 guy if they're the same caliber. So that may, you know what I'm saying, get you cut. You know what I'm saying? You may miss your cut because of that, right? It's grades, you know what I'm saying? And this guy's being eligible, make sure they're taking the right classes and all that stuff. So that falls in the grades, right? The core GPA. They're thinking, you may have 70, and then you got an A and PE. That ain't helping you.
For sure.
The A and PE don't help you because it's not a core class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So guys need to know that, right? So for two is I need to know what kind of character guy you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know if you were like, I'm gonna ask you, coach, is he a good teammate? Like, and by being a good teammate, I mean, are you accountable? You know what I'm saying? Are you trustworthy? You know what I'm saying? Can we trust you? Can we count on you to be there all the time? Can we count? It ain't necessarily about if you're gonna make every play. It's about, can I count on you to weights every day? Can I count on you to be, you know what I'm saying, to be on time? Can I count on you to be to meetings on time? Can I count on you to pick your brother up when he down? Or are you the guy that's gonna be in the locker room catching the attitude? Or you gonna be in the guy every time we down? You got attitude, you down there by yourself. What kind of teammate are you?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I that's what I need to know. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? That's huge, man. That's huge because now I need to know what I'm adding to my locker room. You know what I'm saying? It don't take but one to spoil the apple crate. You know what I'm saying? It don't take but one bad one to spoil it. So that's big for me. I mean, and the third thing, man, is I mean, obviously we know you're a good player. We wouldn't be recruiting you from the start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't a good player, we're not gonna recruit you from the start. You know what I'm saying? So
those three things.
you know what I'm saying? So the last thing is, man, just make sure your work ethic is good. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you have a good work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And with work ethic, all the things that tie into that work ethic is your time management. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, the thing about it is, man, you don't got to be the smartest guy to, do well in school.
For sure.
You just got to know when to ask for help.
Time management. Yep.
Time management. You got to know when to ask for help. Like, colleges, we have tutors. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how many times I done sat in the library with a tutor to help me with class. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't hard. Like stuff gonna be hard, man. Like, college class is gonna be hard. But you don't got to be the smartest guy.
Right.
You just got to go know when okay, I need some help with this. Let me go sit down with somebody who knows it for real, and they can break it down to me in a way that I understand.
And I want to, before we go into our last oatmeal recipe segment, and I want to just, reverse a little bit and talk about, Team DAE in those times. And our teams, like we had really, really good teams. But, I think a lot of families, a lot of kids wanted that different type of atmosphere we were playing in. Like I was doing it the right way as far as development. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason we need to be playing AAU in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not even ready for that. Some of the kids on our team, players on our team, aren't eligible. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough to try to recruit the kids that's needed to play at a high level when some kids aren't eligible. And most kids want to go for the free registration or the uniforms, or just to say they play AAU. My question to you is, what were your experiences playing with Team DAE and our practices approach and our just our whole collegiate approach to teaching the kids? What were some experiences that you learned from those times? Because, and I say that because when we're talking to other teams, they have kids on a team that's uneligible. They're not recruitable. So why are kids playing? Some kids didn't even pass the previous grade. Why are they playing if travel ball was supposed to be a platform to get better and to get exposure? What's your take on that?
I agree wholeheartedly. If you're not eligible right now, you ain't passed, you need to be spending that time getting right and getting your GPA up and getting some, taking some summer classes or something like that, so you can be recruitable. It don't matter. You can go out there and kill everybody.
Right.
Soon as they look at them grades, don't matter.
So my point, my point. Like what's and my point is, and I think with all these different leagues, travel clubs in the Low Country, what are they really trying to do? Because if kids aren't recruitable, they're not eligible. What's the point? What's the point of playing? And then I think with the information that the parents are not getting is that the kids are playing AAU and they're really playing USBA. You know what I mean? They're not playing at that level. So I find it real frustrating. Some of these clubs, not all of them, that's really misleading our young community.
No doubt. And saying, like, from my experience with Team DAE, man, like we operated like a college team, man, especially like on those Saturdays we had, man. So we would have a whole day where, we would start off in the morning with weights. We would lift weights together. We learned how to, like, and we would go to trainer who would teach us proper technique and proper way to stretch and how to stretch and all that stuff. And we eat as a team. Right. And later on that day we have practice and we would go through practice and so it was a whole deal, man. It's not just it's not just we putting a bunch of kids in the van, we're going up here to play this tournament, and then I don't see y'all again until we go into another tournament. Right. You know what I'm saying? We learn how to play deep. We talked about defense. Right. A lot of teams don't talk about no defense in the AAU.
For sure.
That was the first thing we worked on, you know what I'm saying? Man principles, zone principles, seeing ball, man, and seeing ball, your man, and at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of teams don't talk about that, you know what I mean? And you talk about, are you worried about you trying to get the most scores you can, and you put them all in the van, you're going to drive them up to Atlanta, we're going to play this tournament, try to win, try to get buckets, we ain't worried, we're going to try to outscore the other team, we ain't worried about playing on defense, for real. Right. So that's what AAU is really turned into, but that was the difference. From my experience with Team DAE, we actually worked on fundamentals. You can't substitute X's and O's for fundamentals. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't substitute them fundamentals, man. You gotta have those. That have to be the base of everything you do, because when you get tired, that's what you can fall back on. You fall back on your fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything going wrong, things going bad, things, you know what I'm saying? You play a team that's way out of your league, whatever it is, you can always fall back on those fundamentals to teach you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. Tell you what you should do in this situation. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you don't got them, you know what I'm saying? Stuff gonna happen. Stuff gonna go bad, no matter what. Right. And if you don't got them to fall back on, man, you just gonna fall on your face.
For sure.
He made a name for himself as a star for the College of Charleston basketball teams in the mid to late 90s. And now, Jermel President is doing what he can to make sure that the Charleston area kids have a chance to succeed on the court and in life.
So I want to, give some of that back to the community as well. After college and after playing professionally, I started the DAE Foundation just to be that wealth of knowledge to the kids in the community and parents as well.
College of Charleston Hall of Famer Jermel President said he saw a need for this while he was in school. So he founded the nonprofit DAE Foundation. And its philosophy for success is based on what he calls his oatmeal recipe.
Let's go and finish together.
Basically teaches the game of basketball, focusing on skills, development, nutrition, and education. Not only SAT, ACT type stuff, but education for parents in how to navigate through the different levels of athletics.
So in closing, Shard, we created something called the oatmeal recipe, which is skill development, education, and nutrition. And I think those three ingredients can go with any sport, any career, anything. And you talked about what we did as a team with skill development. When I say skill development is not just on the court stuff, it's off the court. How you might have great listening skills. Like it's all about communication as well. So in skill development, how important is skill development to you, and how do you apply it to your everyday life?
I feel like skill development is very important. You know what I'm saying? I seen a quote, man, and it stuck with me. It says, "When you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and what I take from that is like, man, as long as you can learn, you can grow. But when you get to that point where you think you can't learn nothing, you think you can't develop no more, that's when you get bad. When you go bad, man, you go bad, and it's you old news. At this point, it's like, okay, can't nobody talk to this dude? You think you know it all? But every game, basketball, football, is always changing and evolving. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Basketball is basketball, football is football, but technique and all that stuff evolves. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay up to date with it. So if you can't learn, you know what I'm saying, then you're useless. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm always gonna be able to learn and always be able to, you know what I'm saying, rather be learning from what not to do or learning what to do. You know what I'm saying, from somebody or from a situation. I feel like you always gotta be able to learn and develop skills. You know what I'm saying? You never, you know what I'm saying, you either getting better or you getting worse. You know what I'm saying? You'll never stay the same. You know what I mean? So I feel like skill development, for one, I feel like that's very important because it's always skills that can be developed and be better. It's always something you can do to become better. You know what I'm saying? And what I do, you know what I'm saying, from the coaching staff that I'm with now, you know what I'm saying, I pick their brains all the time. Right. You know, so I'll sit with my DB's coaching and pick his brain on what he's studying. You know, so I'm coaching running back, but I'm trying to see, okay, what the DB, like we you coaching here? Like, why do you coach it this way? Like, you know, I'm picking your brain. Defensive coordinator, I'm picking his brain. You know what I'm saying? My head coach is a big time special teams guy. He coaches special teams in the league. You know, so I pick his brain all the time about that. You know, so I ask my offensive coordinator all kind of questions. You know what I mean? It's just it's always stuff you can learn, and then it helps to know different things when you want to apply it to your position. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You may get a call or you may need to, you know what I'm saying? It may be the only job open for you and you may have to coach a position you never coached before. Now you can fall back on some stuff you done learned from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But
good point.
You know what I'm saying? But
to your point, I just enrolled back in Trident Tech to take some psychology courses. You know what I mean? Just to better myself on my approach on dealing with families, you know what I mean? Dealing with kids and, you know, delinquents and all that other stuff. So yeah, you're right on point. I think, you know, with continuous learning will always give you that leverage that you need to stay ahead.
All
right. Second one is education. And not only reading and writing, like you just said, education about the sport, education about your teammates, your coaches, all that's important. How important is it to you, not to reiterate, and how do you apply it to your everyday life?
Yeah, so education is very important to me. You know, and thing is for me, it's like I'm the so I just finished my master's in May, You know, and I didn't even really think I was gonna be going to get a master's degree when I graduated college, man. But I think it's one of the best things, you know what I'm saying, that I've done, and it's a great achievement for me, you know. Just because like, when you walk across that stage, you know what I'm saying, especially the second time, man, it's amazing.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You feel empowered, man. You feel like education is an equalizer, man. It's a measuring stick. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? You can go anywhere and say, okay, I got a master's. You know what I'm saying? That's a different wall. That's a different
Conversation.
room that you enter. You know, that's a different room you enter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't got a degree. You know what I'm saying? You can talk and you can talk intelligently with people when it's like, okay, I have a master's. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It don't matter what it's in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you have a master's, so you furthered your education for another echelon. You know what I'm saying? And that's big for me. I'm the first male on, you know what I'm saying, on one side of my family with a master's.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? I was the first male to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that meant a lot to me. Even for like, I got little cousins coming behind me. You know what I'm saying? You know, hopefully I have children one day, and they come behind me. Okay, I have a master's. You know, so not a bar is set. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Somebody would set that bar. You know what I'm saying? I preach it. You know, I preach it to my guys. You know what I'm saying? And when I recruit guys, I'm like, man, listen, I'm not gonna sit there and promise you championships. I'm not gonna sit there and promise you playing time. But I can promise you is I'm gonna push you in that class, or I'm gonna push you, you know what I'm saying, and that's gonna be the first priority. Sure. I can promise you the first priority is that you're gonna walk across the stage.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying, before you get out of here. So that, you know what I'm saying, that's one way I apply it, man. And you know what I'm saying, I think it's big, man. It's the measuring stick of our society.
I agree. And lastly is nutrition. You know, and what I think is one of the most important things is what you put in your body. It helps your body perform. And I see a lot of players all the time during games, you know, it's eating fast food and Skittles and soda. It's really not doing them, you know, any justice to their performance. How important nutrition is to you, and what's your take on it?
That's crazy. I taught in a performance nutrition class when I was doing my master's. And I talked about, you know what I'm saying, the nutrition we do at an AAU tournament. You know what I'm saying? The nutrition, you know, AAU tournament, you play 3-4 games in a day. Right. And in between them games, what you doing? What you eating? Nachos, Skittles, hot dogs, chips.
Take us out now. At Team DAE, we didn't have that. We had turkey sandwiches. We had juice.
Exactly.
Stuff on the side, coolest. And every parent will take a game, 2 or 3 parents, and bring those things here, because I knew and I understood during game time and in between games, we need to be eating those things, juices, you know, exactly. Lola bars and sandwiches, not the greasy stuff. So I just want to make sure I plug that. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, exactly, and that's 100%, man. And you know what I'm saying, and that's how we was able to last through the day. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, but our last game of the day, people wonder why they're hitting the wall.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You hit a wall because your body is now trying to pull nutrients, and there's no more to pull. You done excreted all the nutrients in the first 2 games. So now we're trying to pull stuff from last night. But last night we had some wings, we had pizza. Now ain't no nutrients in there. So now you done excreted all your nutrients. And you know what I'm saying? And now you hitting that wall because then you ain't got no more. You know what I'm saying? So you got no more. So that's big, man. And nutrition is big time, man. And, you know what I'm saying? And in any sport, man, any sport, basketball, football, whatever sport you play, track, is important, because whatever you put in your body is what you're gonna get out of it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put in your body is what you're gonna get out of it. So especially, I mean, with us, we moving for camp tomorrow. Our guys moving tomorrow, so we up here getting ready for that, man. But that's what we've been pushing these guys, like, hey man, start hydrating now.
Right.
Start hydrating now. You know what I'm saying? Before you even get here, because when you get here, when we go in practice and we got weights and we hitting it, you ain't got time. Your body's gonna be trying to pull nutrients. If you ain't got it in you, it's gonna show.
For sure.
It's gonna show if you don't got it in you. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, nutrition, man, that's huge. That's huge, because your body will shut down on you if you don't have it.
That's awesome, man. Rashard, man, that concludes our interview. I appreciate you coming on. I think the community, you know, the players, you know, everybody's going to appreciate the wealth of knowledge that you provided, and also, you know, I mean, keep pushing and doing what you do and making the city proud, going to those different levels. That's awesome. And what, I'm happy to say, I coach you and know you, especially the things that you're doing in the community. That's awesome, man. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me on, man. This is big time, man. You know what I'm saying? Just picking my brain like this made me think about stuff. So I appreciate being on, man. I appreciate the time you spent with us and showing us how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? When our time with Day and all that, man.
For sure. Well, go, man. Go work them kids up and make it happen and continue doing what you do. And we'll get it done. All right?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Take your time.
You playing in that the alumni game?
I'm done, man. I ain't doing that. I'm done.
I know. I know they played Goose Creek this year. They played Goose Creek this year. I think it's on the. Hold on. I'll tell you. Give me a second. Let's see.
And listen, my home.
The 7th.
Shane, August.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane.
Burke playing Goose Creek this year.
Burke playing Goose Creek.
Yeah. That's what remember everybody basketball because y'all blow no tossing out every year, and then we blowing out whoever we play every year. So they playing each other this year.
Man, Shane, both of my teammates tore their Achilles at the College Charleston alumni game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Had them out 8 months. I just can't risk that. Being a trainer and working with kids, like if I get hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't make
that's your livelihood.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's your livelihood. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch. But other than that, I'm good.
No doubt, man. I don't blame you. Hey, I hear that shit. Yeah. I do not blame you, dog.
Yeah. You can't go on that football field limping with a crutch and trying to work and you can't do that.
Tell you, yeah, you can't do that, man.
You got to be thinking about not only making people happy or going back and you got to be thinking about your body as an asset, how valuable it is. If you had a desk job, then you can make that sacrifice. But you got a sports job. You don't want to lose your job because you tore your Achilles and you can't show this player this. You can tell your coach, hey, coach, I can't come to practice. I got to go to the doctor because, well, Coach Shaw, what happened? Well, I went to Charleston.
I was playing
basketball game.
Yeah, get out of here, man.
Yeah. We haul at you.
Yeah. All right, man. Go ahead. You go ahead back to Charles.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, shoot, right, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get on, man. But I appreciate you, man, having me on here.
Already know, man. We get with you.
All right, for sure.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too, man.
Peace.
So there it goes, guys. Another one in the books. Want to thank Rashard for coming on and giving us a lot of information, his wealth of knowledge about the sport and the transition he's made throughout the years. Coming up next, we got Aaron Lucas from the Columbia area and the Charleston area. Was a great, one of the best players that came out of the state of South Carolina. McDonald's All-American, so many accolades coming from this area. And we talked about the transition, building different steps, getting to the next level, setting those goals and knocking them down. So very interesting story. I can't wait to get into it. All right, we'll be right back.
What Jermel is doing with the DAE Foundation and the approach he's taking to help develop young athletes, first of all, getting them prepared from the academic standpoint, which, as you know as well as I do, Bobby, that's the most important element, to try to get them to eat healthy, to be able to train properly, to get the proper education, and then hopefully for those who are talented enough to have a chance to move on to perhaps even get a free education by going off to college. But I love what Jermel is doing. It's a wonderful program. Hopefully more people in the community will get behind it, and some of the businesses involved as well to help sponsor this program, because these are the kind of things that every community needs, looking out for the best interest of the youth. The future of this country is in our youth, and everything that we can do to help prepare them better for that is absolutely wonderful. And I can't express adequately enough my admiration and respect for what Jermel is doing, and hopefully he'll get a lot of help from a lot of people.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Jermel President, and on Twitter at President Jermel.
Make sure to subscribe to this podcast, as I'll be bringing you a new interview every month.
York City.